Hi Leo, welcome to your reading for today. We're going to see what you need to know right now. This could be past, present, or future. Okay, you could be a cross watcher. Just take it how it resonates. So let's just see. What is your message right now, Leo? What do you need to know today? Let's see. The Moon, Strength in reverse, and the Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, and at the bottom we have Justice. Okay, so it looks like there's someone here that thought something would stay hidden, okay, or this could be you as well. I don't know, maybe you're dealing with some sort of hidden, deep emotions right now. A feeling of being weak, or feeling weakened, like your power has been taken away from you in a sense, okay? Not knowing how to get over something, not knowing how to move on. Lacking strength. Yeah, this kind of feels like something coming up from the subconscious, okay? Feeling powerless, feeling weak. Let's see, why is that here for Leo? Why is the Moon here? The Ten of Wands, the Emperor, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so my first initial feeling from this is that you could be looking for a sense of approval. Now this, again, just take it how it resonates. If you're a cross watcher, okay, but like, I'm just going to say what I'm feeling right now. All right. So it feels like someone here, or you might have like a bit of a father wound. Okay. That's what this feels like. This feels like wanting approval from a masculine energy in your life. Okay. An Emperor. So but the Ten of Wands is like working really hard, carrying a lot of burden, carrying a lot of responsibility, putting a lot on your plate in order to get the approval of a masculine energy. But this is in the subconscious, okay? It's in the Moon, which is making me feel like this could be something from your past or something from your childhood, maybe that you don't typically look at, or you don't typically think about it consciously, okay? Why Strength in reverse here? The Lovers. Okay, the Two of Wands in reverse, Temperance, and the Six of Pentacles. All right, this reading is going to get really deep, okay? So buckle up, guys. I hope you're ready, okay? It feels also very specific. So, yeah, and I don't mean to trigger anyone, but I'm just going to speak very honestly about what this is, okay? So, because of some sort of a father wound that you might have here, where you might have bent over backwards or done everything, you could have tried, working really hard. This is like trying to do everything you're supposed to do, make your father proud, to get some sort of recognition or appreciation, validation from a masculine energy here, okay? This could be carrying out into your current relationships as an adult, especially in romantic relationships, okay? Where I feel like you're subconsciously doing the same thing. I feel like I'm reading for a woman, okay? I feel like I'm reading for a feminine because of the way that it's coming out. So it's like you're now subconsciously doing the same thing with men in your life because you're still operating out of this subconscious patterning of trying to gain the approval of like masculine energies. It doesn't have to be actual masculines, okay, or men, but you're operating out of this energy of wanting the approval of masculine energies. But they can even be women that have this masculine energy of being very dominant or very stern, serious, and decisive, okay? But this is making me feel like you feel like in order to receive something from your counterpart, in whatever way this is, if it's love or business, you have to submit. Like you have to almost, you have to, strength in reverse. You have to give up your power in a way, or you have to submit yourself to the other person. This is like, you know, not challenging someone or not speaking up for yourself, or just, it's kind of the opposite energy of just doing everything that you can to make someone proud of you, or to see your accomplishments, or to see how hard you've been working. It's like you're stuck in a cycle of always wanting to prove yourself. So you're like voluntarily giving your strength away because you've kind of like learned, I guess, through conditioning, that if you give your power over to someone else and you make yourself very submissive to them and to their approval and what they expect of you, then that's how you receive, okay? That's how you get what you need, I guess. Now, what you need in this sense is giving me like emotional things, okay? Like your emotional needs being met. Yeah, something like that. Okay, Six of Swords reverse. The Four of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups and the World. Yeah, so I feel like what's going on here, Leo, is that this part of you has kind of taken over in a sense, because it's starting to morph into an energy where you're feeling like it's like you take rejection very personally is what I'm getting, okay? Because there's something here about your identity being that of someone who's always helpful, always giving, always caring, always wanting to help people and do things for people and prove yourself and prove that you're, you know, hardworking and that you're responsible and stuff like that. And that's really good. Like those are all really great qualities, but it'll also morph into a situation where you'll take it personally when you feel maybe rejected in a sense, or how should I say this? You could be very giving to the wrong people. I mean, because it'll more like if this kind of energy goes unchecked and if you don't look at this part of yourself, then you'll do this with people. And I'm not saying that comes from the father side, this patriarchal subconscious thing going on, okay? But if you were like that with a father figure in your life, and now you're doing the same thing with everyone in your adult life, then you're going to be doing that with people that don't deserve that from you, because they're going to be abusing that, right? They're going to be seeing an advantage in the way that you are. They see that you are this way, so they manipulate it, right? And it's almost like a subconscious patterning where you feel like you have to be this way. Like you feel like you have to in order to gain approval or let's get into this a bit more. Okay, tell me more about the moon, please, for Leo. The Three of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, look, the truth is that there's something about you, okay, a part of you, and it might not be conscious, where you, okay, to say it in a nice way, you do better in a team setting. Okay, you do better working together with others. You don't tend to do so well all by yourself. Okay, or maybe you feel a bit lost all by yourself, right? So you don't really like doing, you know, just your own thing. You could do well, or you could do better in like a team setting. But that being said, it is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, so it's like it seems to be tipping over a bit too far in the side of codependence, where you're codependent on the approval of someone else, or you're codependent on the way that you're being seen by others, or if other people think you're doing a good job, if other people think you're a good person, if other people think that, you know, you deserve some sort of approval. So yeah, I think this is like a muscle that has not been trained in you, whoever you are, that you don't actually need the approval of other people, or you don't actually need them to tell you you're doing a good job, right? If you know that you are, right? Or if you know you're a good person, you don't need someone to tell you that. I just feel like that's a muscle that has not really been trained, because there is something about a masculine energy in your life, okay? Let's see, why is Strength in reverse here? The King of Swords, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, I feel like these are people in your life where you have become submissive to them in a way. Like you're willfully submitting to this Queen of Cups and this King of Swords. The Page of Wands. Yeah, you're seeing yourself as a page. Okay, so instead of you being the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, you're coming out as the Page of Wands. And even if you're the same age as these people, you might not feel that way, okay? Or maybe you, not even that. I don't even think it's that. I think it's that your energy comes off as being like you're I mean, you're kind of looking for direction, right? You're kind of looking for someone to hold your hand in a way. So you could be younger, all right? I could be talking to someone that's a bit younger today. Tell me about this Strength reverse. Yeah, all right. The Chaser. Chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment. Yeah, so not to say that you're a chaser or you're chasing after people, you're codependent, or you have a fear of abandonment. I feel like it's more that there's definitely codependence here. And it's not as much a fear of abandonment as it's giving me a fear of not, well, maybe it is a bit of a fear of abandonment, right? Or it comes out in the way that you feel like you will be abandoned if you don't act a certain way, if you don't behave a certain way, if you don't give to these people, then they'll abandon you. They'll leave you behind, right? It's like you're tying your sense of self and your self-worth to how much you're giving of yourself. And that's where I feel like it's getting into some sort of a morphed perspective because you're starting to self-sacrifice, okay? Or you're giving so much of yourself in order to belong or in order to not be left behind by others that are most likely seeing this about you, and that's why they're you know, it's like, I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm just trying to find like a good example of this, right? It's kind of like when you're training, if you're training a dog, okay? And you know that a dog is going to listen better when they get a treat, right? So you'll have treats with you because you know that if they want a treat, they're going to do what you say. So basically, it's like people around you knowing about you that you just need some sort of praise and approval, and you just need to feel like you're doing a great job, and then you'll do what they want you to do. It's like, if I can convince Leo that this is a great thing that they're doing and they're like saving humanity, then they're going to do it because they're looking for that sense of approval and that praise, right? But you're actually giving away your strength because you're not doing something out of your own conviction and out of your own belief and because you believe in it. You're doing it because someone else is expecting it of you, and you want to prove yourself to them, or you want them to think highly of you, right? Like, you want them to go home and think like, oh, Leo, they're a great this, they're a great that, they're a great partner, they're a great colleague, they're a great employee, they're always doing the best. And I feel like that's kind of what you want. That's kind of what you're looking for. But I feel like there is something murky here or tricky here, because I feel like a part of you is losing yourself into this identity, okay? You're kind of losing yourself in the sense that you might wake up one day and be like, wow, everything that I did for someone else, not because I wanted to do it, because of someone else that wanted me to do it, okay? Like, who am I? That's what this energy gives me, is that one day you're going to wake up and ask yourself, who am I? Like, what am I doing all this for? Who am I doing all this for? Right? I'm doing it to impress people. I'm doing it so that they won't leave me, okay? Or they won't desert me or turn their backs on me. Right? So, what else? Yeah, it's about a sense of security, okay? You could be doing things here because they make you feel safe. This could have something to do with safety, security, what makes you feel safe, all right? Okay, so it could obviously feel safer for you to hold on to some certain connections in your life, okay? Or just to do things just for the other person so that they don't leave, right? Like, I mean, if we're taking this in a relationship context, right? It's kind of like you are cooking the best meals every single day for your partner, and you're doing everything that they want, that they like, that they want to eat. You're trying to impress them because you're thinking in the back of your minds, like, if they see that I'm cooking their favorite meals, doing what they want every day, then they're gonna appreciate that about me, and then they won't leave me because they see that I'm putting in all this effort, right? On the flip side, though, you're not cooking anything that you like to eat, okay? You're not cooking for yourself. You're not thinking about what you want to eat. You're not expecting your partner to meet you halfway, and on some nights you eat what they like, and on some nights you eat what you like. It's almost like you're self-sacrificing yourself to the point where it's almost like you don't want to cook what you like, because you're worried that your partner is going to feel slighted by the fact that they're not getting what they want. So you'd rather self-sacrifice so that they don't, so that it's always about them, okay? Like, you don't want to leave the impression that you want to make it about you and cook what you want to eat. You get what I'm saying? So you submit yourself, okay? So you give up your power in that sense. So you're no longer eating what you want to cook, or you're no longer cooking what you want to eat, because you feel like, or there's a subconscious part of you that feels like, in order to hold on to this relationship, you have to do what someone else wants you to do all the time, right? Okay, or it's like they want black towels, you want white towels, so you say, okay, we'll get black towels then, right? Instead of saying, well, how about we do black towels in this bathroom and white towels in that bathroom? It's like you've lost that sense of, no, like, some things are about me and what I want, right? The Three of Wands and the Hierophant. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, something about losing a job maybe, okay? Or, yeah, losing a job. It could also be a job, a relationship, a job. It's like, I have to do what this person wants me to do, or else they're gonna leave me, right? But it's also like, I'll do everything that you ask me to do. I won't think about myself, because in the back of your mind, you're thinking they're gonna think I'm a great employee and they're gonna, they're gonna appreciate me. But it's not always like that. Sometimes they're coming to you because they know that you're gonna say yes, because you have this aspect about yourself, right? Where you're looking for that validation, okay? So what's the Six of Swords reverse? The Nine of Swords. Okay, so now you could be stressed about something. You could be worried, anxious. You could be scared. The Seven of Wands. Yeah, the thought of you, for some reason, the thought of you sticking up for yourself and standing up to people and having boundaries, it scares you. Okay. And I feel like there's something in your subconscious with a masculine energy in your life. It could be a father, okay, because that's what I'm getting, where you learned at some point in your life that sticking up for yourself or having a boundary with someone, it brings you like negative consequences, or then you're not doing a good job. It's like you're only a good person if you do what I say, basically. So yeah, standing up for yourself triggers a fear. Defending yourself or even fighting back and saying no to someone, it triggers a fear in you of abandonment, of being left behind, of rejection almost. Okay. Engagement ring, partnership, commitment. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this has something to do with your worth, or being seen as like worthy in some sense, or being seen as like worth a commitment or a partnership. Meeting and conversing with friends. Yeah, I feel like you do feel better in a group setting, okay? I do feel that you do better with friends because you need a lot of advice from friends. This is giving me that you're typically not gonna make decisions because you want to make decisions. You're gonna make decisions after you've talked to someone else about it, and you want to know what they would do or what they think or how they would handle it, and then you kind of base your decision off of what other people say, and I feel like, again, a lot of the way that you make your decisions might have to do with some sort of subconscious need or desire for approval from others, or wanting others to approve of you or think you're doing a good job. Not wanting to rock the boat. You don't want to rock the boat. Six of Swords in reverse, okay? You don't want to rock the boat ever. Stabbed in the back in reverse. You don't want to stab someone in the back. You don't want to rock the boat, yeah. But why are you equating those two things? That's the question. Like, why are you equating having a boundary, saying no, sticking up for yourself, with stabbing someone else in the back? You know, why are you seeing it in that way, that if you say no to someone, then you're betraying them, right? This is like, again, with the cooking thing, okay? It's like there's a part of you that thinks if you say no to only cooking what someone else wants to eat every night, then you're like betraying them in a way. You know, I don't know. There's some sort of there's like something you equate here with you will be hurting someone else if you do what's best for you, or you would be disappointing someone else if you do what's best for you, you know, something like that. Like, you're very focused on other people and other people's needs and what other people want and what they're expecting. You've kind of like lost something here about what is important to you. What do you want? What feels good to you? What do you feel like is right? Like, this is really giving me someone that's going to wake up one day and go, who am I? Okay? Like, who am I without all these other people telling me who I am? Because that's kind of what's going on right now, is that you know who you are because all these other people are telling you who you are. And they're telling you who you are because they want you to act a certain way. So who are you without all these people telling you you're a good job, you're doing a good job, you're a good employee, you're a good person, you're a good partner, you're a good mother, you're a good daughter, you're a good son, whatever. You know, who are you when you don't have that? And what is it, where is it coming from that you feel like you're only that when other people tell you that you're that? And where is it coming from also that you feel like you have to act a certain way and you have to do certain things? And if you don't, then you're not a good person. You're not a good partner. You know what I mean? There's like something here deep in the subconscious with that one, okay? Anything else? The Hanged Man in reverse. The Six of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I feel like where you're getting stuck here is that you're basing a lot of your life off of your reputation, or how you're seen by others, or that you're seen in a certain light by other people. Like, you want people to see you in a good light. You want people to look up to you and see you as a role model, but it's getting you stuck in you're actually stuck in an old way of being because you've been conditioned to be this way at some point in your life. And this is actually also, like I said, getting you stuck in a situation because you're self-sacrificing yourself. And the Seven of Cups is like, you're almost not even seeing that you're doing it because you're so focused on the approval of others. You're not even realizing that what you're doing is self-sacrificing. Because this is tricky, because at some point in your life, I feel like if you don't wake up to this, then you're going to end up in a situation where someone has, or multiple people have led you down the wrong path, And you're going to realize way too late that you got there because you listened to everyone else, or it was what other people told you to do. And then you're going to be stuck there thinking, who am I? Because all I ever wanted was to make these people proud, or all I ever wanted was to be a good person. But this person told me that I'm only going to be a good partner, I'm only going to be a good employee if I do this and this and this. And actually, I just fucked up my life doing that. So, like, who am I? You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of tricky. Because it's really something that you need to catch on to, or else, like, sometimes you have to rock the boat. And the fact that you don't want to rock the boat, it's because it's tied to a fear that you have. And that fear has to be looked at. Like, why is this fear there, or this anxiety there with putting up boundaries with other people? Okay. Because it's going to get you in some bad situations where you realize you only did all of that for someone else and not for yourself. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, bad investments, okay? Being a hard worker. Yeah, you pride yourself on this, I can tell, okay? That you are a hard worker. You do work really hard. You carry a lot of responsibility. You do everything that people tell you to do. Like you're very efficient is what I'm getting. Okay, you're a very efficient person for sure. But you're like pulling yourself apart. This is like someone who you're trying to do everything at the same time. You're trying to make everyone happy at the same time. You're trying to have the best of both worlds. You're trying to please everyone. Where are you in the situation? Okay, I feel like you've forgotten yourself a bit. The Three of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is like, again, who am I? I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what my life is. Like, how did I get here? Okay. That's a really slippery slope here. Okay, anything else? The Two of Cups. Again, a relationship. The Ace of Swords. And the Moon in reverse. Yeah, there's something here that needs to come up from the subconscious, or it is right now, or it's about to. Okay, there's a floodgate that's about to come up for you, and it has to do with rocking the boat. The fear of rocking the boat. And why you don't want to rock the boat. And you're going to find clarity in your relationships. If you look at the relationships in your life, right? Whether it's your partner, your parents, your family, your employer, whatever it is, your colleagues, your friends, you're going to look at the fact that you never wanted to rock the boat, and that it didn't even have anything to do with the fact that these people would abandon you, or there would be conflict, or they would, turn their back on you. As much as it's like, you actually, why you're doing it is because you want approval from them. You want their approval. And sometimes rocking the boat, it doesn't get you approval. It gets you the opposite. It gets you people looking at you like, what's your problem? Why are you making a mess? And I feel like you don't want that. You don't want to have that impression on people, right? But at the end of the day, like, you have to ask yourself, who are you trying to make proud? Okay, are you trying to make yourself proud? Like, do you want to look in the mirror and be proud of who you are? Like, if you think about your younger self, you as a child, okay, would your younger self look at you as an adult now and be proud of who you are? So who are you trying to make proud? Yourself or the people around you? Like, what's more important to you when you look in the mirror? That other people are proud of you, or that you are proud of you, So I know this one is a tough one, Leo. Okay, I know this one was a bit deep, and if it was your reading, you probably stay to the end. If it wasn't, then they're already gone, okay? But I hope this helps wherever you are. And yeah, until next time, guys. Okay, bye.